What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wealth Made Simple podcast. Today I have with me Pedro Adao. Pedro, how you doing today?
Great, man. Good to be here.
Glad to have you here today. You are the man who has figured out the challenge model, and I'm super excited to jump in with you because I have recently ran the Tax-Free Millionaire Summit, the Tax-Free Wealth Challenge, and it has revolutionized my business.
Let's go.
When I looked you up, I found out you have been working with Dean Graziosi, Tony, and a lot of other people that I already know, like Barry Baumgartner in the space. So we're excited to unpack all of this here today, and we're excited to bring you onto the show.
Yeah, man, that's going to be awesome.
Would you say that you're one of the pioneers of the 5 and 3 day challenge model?
Yeah, I mean, this challenge, the model that everyone knows,
Yes,
is mine. I created it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just being honest. That's not being like, and Dean will tell you that because Dean has been running challenges longer than probably anybody on the internet.
Yeah.
But the way I made a lot of different up levels to them and how I was doing them. First of all, they were all live, not pre-recorded. Most of them are pre-recorded. Most of them weren't live. Most of them were done like kind of Jeff Walker style product launch formula, right? Where it's like either it's pre-recorded or it's kind of like, and you know, my big innovation was they were live and they were done in a Facebook group. There was tons of engagement.
Yeah.
I was giving people daily homework. Hey, go live in the Facebook group.
Yes.
Don't just leave a comment. You go live. I was live, now you go live. So my biggest innovations I brought were energy, engagement, live. There's a bunch of other things I kind of up-leveled on it. But it was enough up-levels where it was just, now it's something different. It's not the same old thing.
Yeah.
So dude, like to just close that story with Dean, like I remember like, okay, I'm just going to show him. I'm just going to trust the process. God gave this to me. If God gave this to me, if this guy takes it and screws me, well, then God will give me something else.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Dean. I helped him and Dean and Tony do their first challenge out of COVID. That ended up how they rescued Tony's business.
Yeah.
Was being able to use challenges to sell tickets to their virtual event. And Dean was so grateful. He says, bro, you have this is it. This is the new thing. He's like, you gotta launch a product. You have to sell this.
Yeah.
And I'll help you promote it. So my first ever launch, Pedro Adao, no one knows who I am.
Yeah.
I'm this little, I'm doing this faith-based little thing that I've got like couple thousand customers. I'm in this little faith-based niche. And now my first time ever launching a product, Dean Graziosi, Roland Frazier, Ryan Dice, Jeff Walker, Russell Brunson, Evan Pagan, Joe Polish, Jason Fladlin, like the biggest names in entrepreneurship and marketing are all promoting me to their lists.
Wow.
Brand new offer, but because I helped all those guys make a ton of money for free. Like I didn't charge them a penny.
You just gave them the strategy, the play.
In many cases, I designed the challenge for them.
Yeah.
I got to about Roland's. I remember designing Roland's challenge with him and his team. The Epic Challenge, but that's ran for 5 years in a row and printed money.
Yeah, I've sat in on one of his challenges
so
before.
I do think it was so I talk a lot about something I say a lot is I think that God's always testing us.
Yes.
But testing us not to punish us. A lot of people have like a negative view of God, like he's like this kind of temperamental guy and he, that's quick to judge and quick to punish. That's not the God I know.
Me either.
The God I know is a loving God. He's a just God, and sometimes we just do dumb things and we have consequences from our. But I think God's always testing us to see if he can give us more.
Yes.
If he can promote us.
Yes.
And that was a test. I think God's like, do you trust more in the challenge model or do you trust more in me? Because if you trust God, then it's like, dude, then I can share what God gave me. I'll share it with you. And now there's a time and a place to use wisdom. But at the same time, it's like, if I trust God, if God gave me that idea, he can give me another one.
Yeah.
And so, I was able to just like, I don't think if it wasn't my faith in God, I would never got the download.
Mm-hmm.
Because how I got the download was in response to a prayer. I'm like, God, the world shut down. What should I do?
Yes.
Like people need to know how to sell online now more than ever before. You gave me this gift. I'm doing like, how can I help more people? And And I heard him, he said, run a 414 challenge. And that was the challenge. I did $2 million on a 100K ad spend. 414 is based off Esther 414, which
What does that read?
Mordecai is, basically the Jews are being persecuted. This guy Haman has gotten permission from the king to like kill the Jews and exterminate the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
And Esther is a queen in the palace.
Yes.
But they don't know she's Jewish, right?
That's right.
So basically Mordecai is like, hey, like they're going to exterminate us. Like you have to go stop this. You got to go to the king. But to go to the king without permission or without being requested, you're risking your life.
Correct.
And she's like, dude, she basically is like saying, well, what if he kills me? And Mordecai says, hey, what if you were born for such a time as this? Like, what if you being chosen to be a queen was all just so you would be in this place at this time to help solve this problem?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's become kind of a popular kind of saying in Christendom is like, for such a time as this. It's kind of become that, and that's where it's from. So I just kind of felt like, I heard God say, like son, like I've prepared you for such a time as this. Like, what if this pandemic, this COVID, this shutdown, and this is kind of language we hear a lot, like, for you, not to you.
Yes.
Like, what if the shutdown was happening for me, not to you,
Mm-hmm.
to me? And I just that was my main message. I'm like, guys, none of us know what's happening here. Some people say it's going to be over in 2 weeks. Some people say it's going to be done by Easter. So like, we don't know how long it's going to be here. None of us even know what this is. I ran this challenge in April.
Yeah. Wow.
We didn't even know what this was.
Right. You just went.
So I was like, hey guys, I don't know what this is. I don't have any prophecies. I don't have any science. Like, this could be 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. We don't even know. And it ended up being
2 years.
Okay. Here's what I do know. Whatever this is, it's going to be for my good. It's happening for me, not to me. And we have all kinds of problems now. And here's what I know. When there's a lot of problems, there's opportunities. Who will step up to solve these problems?
That's right.
And whoever does, their life will change. Dude, I was prophesying over myself. My life exploded that year. That's when I went to the top of the online marketing world. That's when, like, it was that challenge that I said, Dean, I never thought about.
Yeah.
I was being asked to speak in masterminds and then helped a bunch of people make a ton of money. And then, dude, 2020 was the year I exploded. That I felt like I was like Cinderella.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew who I was. And then like one day I'm like, no one knows who I am. And then a matter of a few short days and weeks, everyone's inbox, Pedro Adao. They're hearing about my name from like 5 people. They're like, dude, so it's crazy how God set that up.
You
man.
went literally from like nobody to serial entrepreneur, essentially what seems like almost overnight when we went into the pandemic.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, what were you doing before the big break, the big blow up moment?
Yeah.
Were you already working on a successful business?
Yep.
Or did your business become successful right when the launch or podcast happened?
Yeah.
Or sorry, right when the COVID happened?
Yeah. So like, I was actually already doing that. So I already had the challenge model built. Like, I didn't build it in response to COVID. This model I started in 2018.
Okay. So you had the model already running in 2018 online. It was a virtual event that you were conducting.
I didn't call them challenges. I didn't know what that term was.
What did you call them?
Masterclasses.
You called them masterclasses. Okay.
I read about it.
Yes.
In Expert Secrets.
So
it's
Russell Brunson.
That book's incredible.
Yes.
Like, Russell's my friend, so I am partial. Like, but like Expert Secrets, I still tell people, if you could only read one marketing book.
Yeah.
If you only could read one marketing book, I would tell you to read that one. Because Russell's read like 100.
Yeah. Russell's incredible, man.
And so if he's read 100 marketing books and taken kind of the best, most important points of 100 books and put it into one book, dude, that's a cheat code.
That's what an expert does.
And so I remember reading this book and he talked, I think it's page like 92 or 111, he talks about, if you don't know what to do, just run a masterclass. And so it was a free masterclass. So I just kind of took that concept, built on it, and kept innovating on it. And that became my free challenge model. Then I went to FHL a couple years later. And
Funnel Hacking Live.
And I saw a lady give a presentation on challenges.
Yes.
And it was on paid challenges. Now I was doing free masterclasses. Now I was already, I was doing well. I think I was already, I think I was at 7 figures.
Okay.
Okay. With this new business.
2018.
Yeah. Even though I come out of the financial business, I have a brick and mortar financial business before all this.
What was that business focused on?
Retirement planning.
Oh, okay.
Education seminars, retirement planning.
Were you a broker dealer, Series 6, Series 7?
No. Life insurance only.
Okay.
RICP.
Got it.
Retirement income certified professional, doing income planning and life insurance and annuities. And then I had a partner that was doing the investment side.
Nice.
So we kind of had it under one roof, but it was like I was the financial planner and the insurance side, guaranteed side, and he was doing the investment management.
And when did you decide to become a coach?
I didn't decide to become a coach. Literally, God tricked me into doing this. I was a buddy of mine had a podcast. He invited me on the podcast to interview me about talk about faith and business and how faith in the kingdom was a huge asset in my business.
Yeah.
And he's asking me questions. I'm just answering questions. I'm just dropping gold. Right. Yeah. And his mind's not being blown. He's like, dude, he's like, what? He's just like, his mind's just being blown in this hour interview around what I call kingdom entrepreneurship. And he's like, dude, this was amazing. Like, where do I send my listeners to go get more of this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no more of this. Like, I'm a financial planner. Like, I don't have it. He's like, do you have a book? I'm like, no. Do you have a course? I'm like, no. I said, dude, I'm a financial planner. Like, I came here to do an interview with you. That's not what I do. He says, bro, this is the best stuff I've ever heard. Like, you should do something with this.
Yeah.
He's like, are you really sure that you don't want me to send these people anywhere? I was like, well, I remember I bought this domain years ago called the 100X Academy.
Mm.
And for something, dude, I have so many domains.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need help. So I think I have 3,500 domains.
Okay.
So I really do need help.
You're
Help me,
obsessed with
Karlton. Help me,
domains.
Karlton. If there was AA for GoDaddy, I would be the president. I don't know why that one stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, send them to the 100xacademy.com. That was on a Tuesday. He's like, well, I'm going to drop the episode this Friday. So I knew I had 2 days
Spin up something.
to do something.
Yeah.
And this is a big lesson for people that are aspiring entrepreneurs or want to most people would have never done something like that.
Yeah.
I put myself under the pressure
Behind the gun.
because now I know this podcast is dropping. I'm going to look like an idiot if that thing drops on Friday and that link is dead.
Yes.
So in 2 days, I opened up my ClickFunnels account, built a funnel, 100X Academy, free masterclass. I was absolutely free. And I was going to just teach for 30 days.
Yeah.
Do a little fun little passion project. And then it was during that passion project where I spent about $3,000 on ads because I know how to build funnels and run ads for my other business.
Yeah.
And as you know, the fact that we're here is businesses often give birth to other businesses.
Yes, they do.
You almost have to try hard to not let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
It takes discipline and focus. And,
Yes, it does.
And self constraint.
Yeah, because there's so many opportunities that just start coming your way.
They tend to just kind of open up, right? So I'm talking to you about, I'm like, Karlton, let me rent this virtual studio you're building.
Yeah.
Another revenue source for you. That you only built this to support you with your info business,
Right.
Which was an offspring of your actual real initial business was doing probably tax and consulting, right?
That's right.
So look at this here. We're 3 levels deep into another revenue stream.
That's correct.
So anyhow, I'm not even sure why I said that. What was I talking about?
We were going pretty deep on.
I put myself under pressure.
Yeah, you put yourself under pressure.
So I learned
for Friday.
Yeah.
The Friday you had to get the website up and rolling.
I learned how to build funnels and run ads because I took my financial planning business online. Yeah. All of my peers were buying direct mail, postcards, and doing dinner seminars.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned the system too. But I'm like, it's 2016. We have the internet, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. We're sending people postcards? It was crazy expensive.
Yeah. Something's got to change.
And so that was another God idea. God gave me an idea to just stop doing that, write a book, He gave me the name of the book, Retired and Free. And he told me if I wrote it, he said, son, write a book, call it Retired and Free. If you write it, I'll bless it. I heard him clear as day. And I'm like, retired and free. I'm like, dude, as you probably know, the baby boomers, the retirement age people are the most marketed to people alive.
Yeah.
They get the most amount of ads because they have all the money.
Yep.
So the thought, to me, the idea that retiredandfree.com would still be available was like, I'm like, there's no way. It's a pretty hot domain. I go to my laptop, type it in, retiredandfree.com, enter, boom, there it was, $10.
There we go.
So bought the domain, wrote the book, launched a whole new marketing system. And that was my first 7-figure year in the financial industry in 2016. So I learned how to become an online marketer in financial planning, not knowing that God would then launch me 2 years later to teaching Kingdom Entrepreneurship. And now I'm teaching online marketing.
Yeah.
And then he gives me a new online marketing strategy, the challenges. And then I launched that as a business. And that's the one that took me to 8 figures.
Yep.
So it was like 1, 2, boom, 8 figures.
Financial planning first led you to starting 100X. And then 100X led you to starting Kingdom.
To the challenge model.
And what do you call it? Well,
100X is Kingdom Entrepreneurship.
Is Kingdom Entrepreneurship.
Right.
That's correct.
So that's how I became an online person.
Yeah.
Growing it with challenges. But then my marketing system that was growing this business then became the product of this business.
Wow.
That's crush it with challenges.
Yeah.
That's what everyone got. That's when I got really taken to the whole online marketing world.
Yeah.
Whether you're faith-based, not faith-based, atheist, Jew, Gentile, Christian, doesn't matter. Like now I got, in front of that world. And dude, that was in 2020 and we've been at 8 figures ever since. And it's been a crazy ride.
This is super incredible. And I'm really glad to break down this whole challenge model because I learned about the challenge business, I would say in 2022, 2023 from a guy named Nehemiah Davis. Neo. He lives out in Atlanta. Great guy. Did a challenge with me, got to learn the model from him. And then since then have ran the challenge business and has been super successful. The challenges went through like this ebb and flow period where I saw a lot of people who were finding successful challenges just slowly stop doing challenges. And I just kept persisting forward. And now I'm slowly starting to see everybody doing challenges back again. So talk to me. What do you think about where challenges are
at? Why I'm laughing?
Heading into 2026?
Why are you laughing? Because I think, do you have any opinions or thoughts about what maybe that was about?
I don't know. I think, I see a lot of entrepreneurs get shiny object syndrome where they'll be focused on one thing for 1 second and then see another thing and then go run towards that. I had a lot of guys that I was around that had businesses. Next thing you know, they're doing crypto and then next thing I don't see them anymore. Yeah. It's just kind of interesting. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if it was people were, all of a sudden copying each other or the challenge model was becoming, in this place where people were having a hard time trusting people on the internet. I don't know.
Yeah. So I was kind of laughing because I mean, this is something that I obviously am paying a lot of attention to. And I think there's shiny object syndrome is one. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how we do this. And when we talked on the phone the other day, you're a little guilty. You kind of realize you're a little bit guilty of doing this too. It's that sometimes the thing that we've done that has the most success, we don't do again. Right? So what did we talk about on the phone the other day? Yeah. We were just getting to know each other. Yeah. But right away I'm like, hey bro, you should be doing like triple the amount of challenges that you're doing because like you crush it, right? So I think part of it is one, an entrepreneur will start doing challenges, crush it, and then they're like, dude, I'm good. Like, I don't need to make more money than this. Yeah. So then just slow down. Mm-hmm. The other thing is too, let's just be honest, if you're doing this right, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Like you're putting in a lot of
energy. You
got to show up live and you're delivering your energy. Yeah. And like if you're doing like, I have a challenge coming up pretty soon. Like we're going to have like maybe a couple 100,000 people in this challenge. Yeah. Right. So you're doing big challenges too. When you're doing big challenges with tens and tens of thousands of people, like customer support is crazy. It is. It's just, your team is busy. Like it's kind of a lot of big effort. I think some people just kind of got a little tired, got a little burnt out. So like you're kind of tired, you're burnt out, you've got plenty of money in the bank. It kind of makes sense. I also think there was a window of time too, Karlton, where I think the strategy just got so popular. Like, there's that saying that marketers ruin everything.
Yep.
So now it's like, there's just everyone's running a challenge. Like everybody, and people that probably shouldn't even be on the internet are running a challenge.
Yes.
So I think that kind of, and that's my fault. That's my fault. I am the person that made this strategy like popular, and I'm the one that told people to run challenges. And so it's my fault for kind of like bringing this to the awareness that it has. But
it's a good thing.
It's
his business.
That's my job as the challenge guy. I'm the evangelist for the challenge model.
I think it's a great thing because it makes it so that the great ones have to be great. They have to shine.
Yeah.
And now that everyone's doing it, how are we knowing who are the greats versus who aren't the greats? It's the ones that dedicate to the game, that pour in the effort, are willing to do the right type of camera quality and show you the testimonials and pour it into their challenges.
And have an offer. So I think
have a great offer.
I think that's the dip. The dip is like a lot of the people kind of that didn't have a real business, didn't have a real offer, didn't, I think they're kind of just like, they're just not in the space anymore.
Yeah.
And then now the people who are real, we're realizing, dude, like nothing works this well.
Mm-hmm.
See, what happens is you do a live challenge. You do live challenges for a year or two. And now you just get a little bit tired and you got a little bit extra cash. So now you're like, oh, I'm going to evergreen.
Yeah.
I'm going to evergreen this. People call me all the time, oh, bro, I'm going to evergreen my challenge. I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you evergreen the challenge? Evergreen a webinar. Evergreen. There's a half a dozen other marketing strategies that lend so much better to evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge model crushes when it's live.
Yes.
Virtual events, when they're live, like why would you take this like super potent client getting machine and then like chop its legs off by going evergreen?
Yes.
Dude, you're just making a huge mistake.
I think what it is that, again, people get shiny object syndrome. They see one person did it and then they think, I'm going to go do it. I know that in our space, and I'm sure you know, when we found out about this guy, is the name Bookkeeping Bill or Bookkeeping Dan, one of these names, did his automated challenge where he was selling this bookkeeping offer and it was crushing it. And I was told that his challenge was printing 7 figures weekly. When you hear things like that, especially in the marketing space, people try to figure out, well, how do I just do that myself, right?
Yeah.
How do I come up with a system that allows for me to put dollars in the machine and print out $100 on the back end so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But the issue is that when you have a model like that works so well live and you try to take its legs by trying to put something else on it, like a Toyota engine, it's just not going to run as efficiently.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing all the time in the marketing spaces. Marketers try to over market things by making everything so automated.
Yeah.
And it can take away from the trust that people can have and the success that you can have at the exact same time, Pedro.
Yeah. And I know the example you're talking about. I actually consulted to that business and to that entrepreneur. And let me not say this about that particular situation, but let me say it about in general. Anytime I've seen people try to evergreen a challenge, the only way that they're able, their ROAS goes down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Their ROAS goes down.
Has to.
Okay. It does. Like, and unfortunately, Karlton, like most people in this industry lie.
Yep.
Right. Like they, and I don't know, it's because I don't know, maybe we're all like got picked on as kids or something, but like we all like, there's this tendency to kind of like exaggerate numbers or just kind of talk about, oh, I cash collected this number, but like, you had a 30% refund rate. So, but that's not in there. And like, oh, it's revenue, it's not profit. So like our industry is full of people who are very
flexing numbers.
Yeah. So I don't believe anyone's numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I hear people say numbers and then I consult with some of these people and I'm like, okay, well that's an interesting way to spin that. Okay. Yeah. So again, it's not about per se this one individual situation, but when you evergreen something, ROAS goes down.
Yep.
Which is not good.
No.
And now what happens is, oh, dude, now ROAS goes down, which means now you have more risk on your ads.
Yep.
Which means what do most entrepreneurs do to overcome the risk on ROAS? Raise their prices, or now they start to try to stack on a high ticket ascension way faster than they should.
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, like now you've got more risk. You got more risk of chargebacks, more risk of complaints. Now you got to do more financing because now you're trying to sell high ticket to more people. Now you got financing. Now you got regulatory risk. Now you've got all kinds of other risk. Why? Because you bastardized something that was so good. Just do it live, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people, like, you can't work 5 days a week.
You're already doing it.
Just get some more vitamins. Get a trainer, bro. Get on NAD. Go to get a sauna. Like, you got 25 days to rest.
Yeah.
Like, these 5 days are the
everything.
best, highest leverage time for your business.
Yep.
But this is what you want to outsource.
Yeah.
It's not smart, right?
It's not.
I guarantee you they're doing a bunch of other things in your life that you should outsource that first and show up here live.
Yep.
I'm a little bit more passionate about it because this is the model I created.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this. I don't go paid for a Kevin Hart performance to show up to go watch a screen show of Kevin Hart. I pay to go see Kevin Hart live.
Exactly.
And I know Kevin Hart is going to deliver a lot differently live than he's going to deliver in front of a camera that he knows is going to be pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly right.
And I'm sure that he puts out a lot of movies and a lot of stuff that I can go watch later that he can make money on.
Mm-hmm.
But he understands in order to create that experience, he's got to show up live and have that impact. He's got to show up live.
One last pet peeve of mine on the whole pre-recorded evergreen challenge thing.
Yeah.
How many of those people are straight up lying to people or doing all these gimmicky stuff to trick people to think it's live?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's also, I think we're starting to run into a lot of rule regulations around that too, right?
And bro, and to me, again, I choose to have a different standard for my business. Okay. Like as a kingdom entrepreneur, like I don't think it's okay to mislead people. If I'm not live, I don't want to do things to try to get people to think I'm live.
Yeah.
And think about, what are you telling your customers? You're looking to acquire a customer, and their first impression of you is, I can't trust this person because he told me he was live and he's not.
Yep.
So now we expect them to believe you that you're a trustworthy person. Now you're going to make them some 10K offer and you want them to trust you. But this whole thing started off in a lie that you were live and you're really not.
Off on the wrong
dude,
foot.
You're off on the wrong foot. This is just not smart, and spiritually it's very unaligned.
Yes.
Right? Like, and so anyhow, we're in a little bit of a tangent right now, but
When did you become a faith-based entrepreneur?
I got saved at 28 years old. So at 28 years old, I raised my hand and I said, I want to be born again. I want to give my life to Jesus Christ at a funeral at 28 years old.
Wow.
I was born and raised in a Catholic home. So I got baptized, baby. I did my first communion. I think I did the confirmation. I was an altar boy. All that stuff. Went to Catholic school, but I never really was like seeking God.
Yeah.
You know, like being Portuguese, it's kind of like we're like cultural Catholics. Kind of like in the South, everyone's Christian, right? Pimps, hoes, drug dealers, they all go to church.
Yeah.
Like,
find a way to make it in on Sundays.
It's just because it's cultural, dude. You go to church.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're living for God. It's just cultural. So for us, Portuguese, everyone's Catholic.
Yeah.
Same thing with other like maybe Latin cultures too. Anyhow, as an adult, I said I want to live for God. I want to give my life to Jesus. I want to be saved. 28 years old at a funeral. What's crazy about that is I was working in corporate America. I was hella bored. I had a pretty fast corporate career growth, but I was making like 100 and change, and I knew I was kind of stuck because my boss was kind of not that much older than me. He just got that promotion, so I felt like I'm kind of stuck here for a while. I didn't see income growth.
Yeah.
I was driving an hour and a half each way to the Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Dude, 3 hours in the car to make 100 and some odd thousand a year.
Every day.
5 days a week. This is before work from home. There was work from home. That didn't even exist. Okay. And then, so I started doing real estate on the side. I became a real estate appraiser.
Okay.
So I'm a licensed appraiser. I was doing commercial appraisal review, residential appraisal. Then I got my broker's license, began doing home sales and mortgage loans.
Side hustle.
Side hustle.
Yeah.
So now I'm making more money part-time than full-time.
Uh-oh. Entrepreneurship.
I am completely not doing my job at work. I'm I'm literally like leaving my desk, going to the car, and just taking calls, doing deals. And I talked to my wife. I'm like, babe, like, what do you think we should do? She's like, babe, you should go full time. Like, I had a year's worth of my bills saved.
Yeah.
Because my wife would stay home. I think we already had 3 kids by then. We had three kids. My wife is stay home, homemaker, raising kids. And I'm like, I'm now losing deals, Karlton, because I can't go show property because I'm at work.
Yeah.
I have 12 months of bills stacked, so I don't have to have a bad month. I'm not stressed. So I call my dad and I'm like, Dad, I think I should quit my job. You know, I got a new business, side business, you know, I've been doing this and like, I got a year's worth of bills put away. Like now it's costing me money to keep my job. I'm like, what do you think I should do? And now my dad's immigrant, old school. My dad had the same job for 30 years.
Yeah.
And of course I want my dad's approval. I want my dad's blessing.
Yeah.
Right? And my dad's kind of old school, but he said something that was very like kind of self-aware and very wise. He said, son, I cannot give you permission to take a risk and do something that I myself would never do. I've had the same job for 30 years. So I can't tell you to quit a job when I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't quit your job. You have a great job. So then I was like, on one hand, I was like, I really wanted my dad to just give me that permission. Yeah, son, follow your dreams. You can do it. But then my dad gave me freedom that like, I did not need his permission.
Yeah.
I got to make my own decision.
Yeah.
So at 28, I walked away from a corporate career when companies were issuing layoffs. That was a mind bender.
Uh-huh.
Trust. Like, how much do I really believe? Because I had friends getting laid off and seeing them cry, grown-ass men crying. I just got laid off. My wife's going to kill me. What am I going to do? And now I'm going to walk away from the same job. This guy is distraught. He lost. And I'm just going to give it away. So it's not like I give this job away and just going back and getting another one. Like the economy was kind of not doing well.
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm telling this story so you know that, like, I got saved at 28 and I walked away from corporate America at 28, 3 or 4 months later. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I felt God was inviting me into entrepreneurship. I felt like I could trust God, that he would have my back and that I wasn't just going to fall on my face.
Yeah.
And so if it wasn't for my newfound faith in God, I would have not had the courage to leave corporate America.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I think God was able to use me and still does in this idea of faith, business, kingdom, entrepreneurship is because my walk with God and my life as an entrepreneur began at the same time.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's when it started. Now, for many years though, I didn't really know that like God wanted to be involved with my business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd pray about things, but like the first time I can remember hearing God give me a direct instruction for my business was with Retired and Free. That was the first time like I remember God telling me, do this, it will help your business.
How do you, when you say you hear God, how does that manifest for you?
Probably the same way it does for you. I look up in the sky, the clouds part, a rainbow shines down. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I haven't had many of those days.
You're like,
lately.
wait a minute, damn, bro. No, like, I mean, so in the Bible, there's times where God audibly speaks, right? The baptism of Jesus, like, that's what it says, the clouds parted, right? Like a thundering voice from the heavens. This is my son in whom I'm well pleased.
Yeah.
Some people report having heard audible voices of God. I That's them. That's their own journey. I don't discredit them. I can't tell them they're crazy, because there's biblical evidence that God does do that sometimes. I don't think that's ever happened to me. To me, when I say I heard God, it's an internal hearing. It's as if I heard, like I'm talking to you, obviously I'm speaking to you and you're hearing me through, right? The vibrations hit your eardrums. And then inside in our brain or inside, these vibrations get turned into you hearing language, right? Yep. Imagine if it was just the internal part. So I'm hearing you, you're hearing me as how I hear God, but no vibrations, to my knowledge, hit my eardrum. But everything else happened.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So it's like I knew I heard him. Huh?
It's divine.
And I heard it. Like I'm hearing you, right? And partly how I know it's God and not me is I'm not trying to think about this.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm thinking about something, if I'm journaling, if I'm even praying, and I'm, okay, God, I need this idea, then like sometimes, okay, but like when God told me to write Retire and Free, I wasn't even trying to think of or talk to him at all. I was just, bro, I got up to go to the kitchen to make a sandwich.
Yeah.
So that to me is like a clue.
Yes, it is.
Like you weren't trying to think about this. If the idea is way better than you can ever come up with, and you weren't even trying to think about it, I'm like, well,
a telltale sign that
what do you
like?
This could be God, because you're not that smart, and you weren't even trying to think about it. So those are my two kind of big clues.
Pedro, how do you walk that line of being a faith-filled entrepreneur and not trying to use God as like a mechanism for garnering more money?
Yeah.
Even though that's a byproduct of you spreading Christianity.
I would say at some point, I would say at this point now in the market. So when I started this in 2018, there was not a lot of people doing what I started in 2018.
Yeah.
So the word kingdom was not a word that was really just seen much. Even today, a lot of folks go, what's this kingdom you keep talking about, right? But in 2018, because like I don't teach Christian entrepreneurship. I teach kingdom entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a big difference. And that's a whole other conversation we can have if you want to. But like, so in 2018, I'm now running ads. I'm talking about God wants to do business with you. I'm talking about business is your ministry.
Mm.
There's things I'm saying in 2018. There's no ads like this until I start running them. Okay. Just to be honest. So then it's like, okay, maybe initially there was so much unmet demand.
Right.
People were starving, like all these Christians starving to learn from a fellow believer who has a biblical worldview. And because there was nobody like me, they're going off to all these other secular gurus who may have great advice, but some of the advice they're giving is just not in alignment with our values.
Right.
Okay. Right. Like, learning from someone who says, I can close anyone on anything at any time. I can sell anyone anything at any time. And they're proud about that. That is not a kingdom entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot learn from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact is, like, just because you can sell someone anything, anytime, anywhere, doesn't mean you should.
Right.
And if you're bragging about that, and that's like, you're like, come learn from me, I already know something about your character.
Yeah.
You can't be my mentor. I can't learn from you. But if there's no other options to learn entrepreneurship, then these very sharky, secular teachers, they end up there. So then I show them 2018, and I'm like, well, actually, there's a biblical playbook. There's a way to do this. There's a way to make great income, honoring God, biblical principles, being honest and upright and full of integrity. And I come I come out. And it actually works. I'm good at marketing, and I've got the principles, and I've got the character, and I got the Holy Spirit, and we got it was nothing. No one ever saw it before.
Yeah.
So it just grew and it grew. Well, now I almost feel like then so many people try to copy me. A lot of people just are grifters, let's be honest.
Yeah.
They don't even know what these words mean. They're like, well, you know, they're funnel hacked me. They're like, well, this guy says kingdom. Let's just put that word in our ads and see what happens.
Oh, wow.
That really happens.
Wow.
Not as much anymore, but like I saw people that I know just taking my copy, taking my pages, and I'm
Spinning
like,
up their own funnel.
I'm like, dude, you don't even know what this means.
Yeah.
But the problem is the public doesn't know. So I think for a while, but now honestly, I think on some level it probably cost me money.
Yeah.
I made more money as the challenge guy
Mm-hmm.
than I made as 100x Kingdom entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like I would probably make more money not talking about God.
Wow. That is
But
profound.
it's not my, but I wouldn't, but that's not my
No,
assignment.
that's not your purpose. That's not your
God
assignment.
told me to do this. Now, I also do have other businesses and other offers where I don't talk about God as much, that are not faith forward.
Mm-hmm.
To be a kingdom entrepreneur and honor God, I don't have to have a overtly Christian brand. You should not take all of what you do, and just because you're a man of faith, you shouldn't go take all of this and now make it the Christian version of Tax Alchemy. That's not what you should do. That would be, unless God told you that, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because my first business, Retired and Free, was not a Christian business. I didn't slap verses all over it. I wasn't just only for Christians.
Yeah.
So my first business was not that way at all.
You literally did what God
Crush It
called
with
you to.
Challenges was not a faith-based business.
No, you're just helping out other entrepreneurs.
I am faith-based. I am a Christian. I am a son of God. But that doesn't mean that the messaging or the branding, or I'm only going to serve Christians.
Yeah.
So the fact is, like, what I'm doing now and what I've been doing since 2000
Should people have
15.
guilt over that too, Pedro? I mean, you're hitting on something so righteous. I mean, someone who's listening to this might have just found God, and they may think, now my calling is to make my life or put Jesus at the center of my life in all things that I do.
which is true.
Which is true. But now they might look at their business and think, okay, well, I need to make money through the eyes of God. And should I be focusing on trying to shift everything so that I'm doing everything in the image of God, so outwardly people see that? And that's where I feel like people might get a little caught up in their head is, well, maybe I should shift everything to be focused around God. And if it's not focused around God, I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah. No, so like you can be Christ-centered and run a non-Christian branded business. But as long as that business, you are building it and you're running it on biblical principles, I would call them kingdom principles, like, then that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think it's a great, I think it's Assisi, Francis of Assisi. He said, like,
Francis of Assisi.
what did he say? He said, like, preach the gospel often and then, like, use words when necessary. So if I have to tell you I am a Christian, for you to know I'm a Christian, we already kind of a little bit have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But in my first business, Retired and Free, which was not an overtly Christian brand, people would come to me and say, something's different about you.
Yeah.
I've been with 10 other advisors. No one talks like you talk. No, you do things that they don't do. I can see how your wife is here. This feels like family. They're like, are you a Christian? And I'm like, well, why do you ask that? I never say yes. I would say, why do you ask?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, well, I'm a Christian too, or this and that. I would always wait. Well, why do you ask? But dude, that's what it should look like.
Yeah.
Someone should be able to see how you talk, see how you treat them, see the quality of your product, see how you live, how you treat them, how you handle them, see how you live, move, and have your way, and then go, wow, this guy. And that's what is in the Bible.
That is what Jesus did.
And that's what the apostles, the New Testament and Acts, they were like, oh, these were with him.
Yes.
Why? They do the similar miracles, they do signs. So to me, it's like, you shouldn't have to tell people you're a Christian. People should just be able to see your fruit. Now, there's times where
People should just be able to see your fruit.
God may sometimes say, son, I want you to go do this. Like,
Yes.
God tricked me into
called you.
launching 100X.
He called you.
And I loved it. And I still do it. But but on some level, like it's a huge, that's what I'm telling you. It's like, I've seen people ruin their businesses trying to make it Christian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why did you do that?
I have too. And I struggle with that too, Pedro, because at the same time, I'm a faithful person. And from one faithful person to another, you don't want to tell somebody how to, manifest their faith, right? But at the same time, I'm like, oof, I could see the pressure you're putting on yourself by thinking you have to do this to please God. Yeah. And I think that if we had a different perception of what God's acceptance looks like, sometimes entrepreneurs won't back themselves into positions where they're trying so hard to please God.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we have two strikes against us. If you're entrepreneurial, you're already ambitious.
Yes.
And you already kind of, let's be honest, we kind of possibly have a chip on our shoulder somewhere. Like that.
Oh, it's there. It's permanently
We're
there.
trying to prove something to someone.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us maybe have this. And it could be, for me, it was my dad. For some people, it's like they're a school teacher or a friend or a girl that dumped them. Like, so a lot of us, and this is a whole nother kind of deep combo we could have at some point, but a lot of us have a lot of ambition and we think it's all like good. And it's not all good. Like some of us have ambition that is not godly. Yeah. It's not righteous. Like revenge. Revenge is not like,
it's not biblical.
It's not biblical. To want to crush it to get back at somebody that's bad.
Yeah.
Like I like it because I work harder. I push myself harder. I mean, Michael Jordan, literally, if you watched The Last Dance, mm-hmm. Michael Jordan is such a maniac when it comes to competition. He would have to make
up characters in his head.
Like if he was going against this guy and that guy was a nice guy, he had to like pretend that somehow this guy like slept with his wife or did something crazy to like hate the guy just to perform. And I'm like, dude, okay, Mike's the GOAT. That's amazing. But I don't want to live like that.
Yeah. That's a different level of living.
That's a different level of competition that like, I'm glad I don't think is required of me.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. You can you can tap into some demons.
That's dark.
Yeah.
What are you partnering with right there? Right?
Yeah.
So my point is that a lot of us have ambition that we love the result of the ambition and we drive, we succeed. But I'm always cautioning us, guys, look at your ambition. Most of it, hopefully there is a seed of ambition that is from God.
Yeah. Keep
that. Fan the flame of that. But if you're still there, for me, I was trying to get back at my dad.
Yeah.
Get my dad, tell me he loved me. Get my dad, tell me he was proud of me.
Yeah.
Like my dad, I knew my dad loved me. He took me everywhere. He took me to soccer and tennis and music. My dad spent a lot of time with me. So if I was like a time, the love language thing.
Yeah.
If I was a quality time kind of guy,
mm-hmm.
man, my love bank would have been full.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a words of affirmation guy.
Same.
And my dad was low on words of affirmation, high on time. So like, I knew my dad loved me, but I had this like wound of needing affirmation and validation that he never was able to check that box for me.
Yeah.
So of course I was super motivated coming out of college. But anyhow, a lot of times, so we have this entrepreneurial drive.
Yeah.
And now religion with its rules. Don't sin, be perfect, be holy, right? Don't this, don't that, don't. And now religion makes you want to perform for God.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got religion, if you grew up in church, perform for God, be perfect, right? And now like this entrepreneurial drive, I got to go crush it in business, be amazing. All this is working against us. And now we create stories like, God's pleased more with me if I launch a ministry.
Mm.
Oh, God's pleased more with me if I now take my business and now make it the Christian version of. This is not true. God is as pleased with you when God's as pleased with us here having a conversation, talking about our faith, our lives, sharing value for people. He's as pleased with us doing this as me praying for the sick, as you handing out backpacks to kids who don't have school supplies.
Right.
Like there's no separation. This sacred secular divide is not real. Religion wants to say this is holy and righteous, church, ministry, and this is secular, work, career, making money. That's a lie. That's always been a lie. And we've been living in that lie for 2,000 plus years. And that's why you see a lot of the church marginalized, has lost influence in the world, because many of Christians that believe that have not pursued entrepreneurship, not pursued wealth creation, not pursued being involved in politics and government.
Mm-hmm.
They disengage from culture.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to disengage in culture. We're supposed to be the culture.
That's right.
God's kids are supposed to be the culture shapers, to reshape culture to look and feel like heaven on earth as it is in heaven. Your business, my business, exists to show people what does heaven look like on earth. As if God was a tax strategist, what would it look like? Right. That's your stick. For me, it's if God was was teaching kingdom entrepreneurship, if God was an internet marketer, if God was teaching wealth management, what would it look like? That's my standard. That's our standard. And we're supposed to create a culture, an atmosphere where people where people experience a glimpse of heaven.
Yeah.
That's the standard. So anything else from that is noise. And you can experience heaven. What is the best restaurant or dining experience you've ever had? like the most incredible dining experience.
You know, I like this restaurant called Cote in Miami.
Okay.
Cote Steakhouse. It's a Korean Michelin star steakhouse.
Okay.
I love the experience because there's a grill in front of you. They don't let you touch it. They don't let you cook it. They'll come by your table like every 20 seconds to make sure your water's filled up, your glass is filled up. They're serving you different cuts of Wagyu steak and sprinkling salt from the Himalayan mountains over your food. The experience is just from top to bottom amazing, from the food to the ambiance. It's
and you're like eating stuff, and you're eating stuff, and you're like, how is this real? Like, how is it possible that something tastes this good?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Every time I go.
Dude, that is a taste of heaven. These people are so good at what they do. You're like, I don't know what heaven's going to be like, but like, I'm having a hard time imagining it better than this bite. Like, how can it be better than this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to me, like, we talk about pursuing excellence, be the best, be great, raise your standards, all that, all that stuff. That's all fine. But it's all just a shadow of the true standard for us is when people meet me, do they leave our encounter like thinking, wow, I wonder if that's what heaven is like.
Wow. That's a profound way to think when you're interacting with people.
It's a high bar.
That's a high standard.
Especially in business. Now we're trying to give people that standard.
Yeah. That's
still
an
making
incredible standard.
While making a profit.
Uh-huh.
Managing a team, dealing with people that are sometimes crazy.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's definitely not easy. And I don't want to, and let me make it very clear. I come up short most days.
Yeah.
But but just because I come up short on most days doesn't mean I lower my standard. So that's a high bar. So people that say I'm a kingdom guy, I'm a kingdom this, I'm like, hey bro, be careful what you say, because the minute you say that, you're putting yourself under one of the highest standards possible.
Yes, you are.
And without God, none of us can do it. But anyhow, that's kind of the whole revelation idea of what does it look like to be a kingdom entrepreneur. A kingdom entrepreneur is somebody who has chosen business as the vehicle to represent God on the earth. You could have been a minister. You can talk, bro.
Yeah.
You're gifted. You're charismatic. You got the look. Bro, do you understand, right? You put on a suit. You walk out of your car with a suit, jump on a stage. I could, whether you're jumping on a stage to a virtual event to talk to a room about taxes, or to preach, it would be it's just a scene change.
Yes, it would.
You could have done that. You still could do that. But you're like, no, Like you're choosing business. You're like, no, I'm going to represent God in business.
Correct.
I'm going to represent him, his values, his ways, his wisdom. I'm choosing the vehicle of business. Yeah, I could have been a minister and built a church and lived off donations. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. But you kind of can tell that I prefer our way, where we have to actually go compete in the real world. We have to actually make people offers that they want to buy, as opposed to having people just give because they feel obligated to. And so a kingdom entrepreneur says, no, God, I feel led to serve your people. Everyone's God's people. Well, Pedro, what do you mean? Like, I have clients who are Jews. I have clients who are atheists. I have clients who are, God made them all.
Everyone's God's people.
They're like, well, if they don't acknowledge God, so who cares if they don't
here to serve them?
That changed that God made that.
Yep.
God made them.
Yep.
So whether they acknowledge God or not is irrelevant. It doesn't change who made them.
Yeah.
So all of us are God's kids. So all your clients are God's kids. As long as you love on God's kids, serve God's kids, right? Dude, what is a business? What's a kingdom enterprise? Loving people through the frame of your business and what you do. You're going to save me a lot of money in taxes. I already know it, right? You're going to love me through the vehicle of helping me save a fortune in taxes.
Yeah.
So I get to feel better about myself. I get to put more money back into the kingdom, not into a corrupt government. Right? That's what you do.
That's right.
That's a part of what you do. Probably do a lot more than that. But that to me is like how people who really have a heart for God can think about their business, is how can they advance the kingdom through their business, not just crush it in business, make a bunch of money, and now you feel so guilty that now you're trying to give your money to churches and pastors and ministries just to kind of like, okay, I'm advancing God's kingdom. Look at all this good I'm doing. I'm like, no, hold on a second. Wait a minute. No. Like making money kind of sketchy ways and then paying a tithe to make yourself feel better that you're out here hustling. Like, no, dude, that's not it, bro.
You're hitting on something.
But pastors don't know. They're like,
lying about being live on your webinar to sell your product to then turn around and tithe to God and then, by the way, brag about it.
You ain't tithing to God, bro. You're tithing to a pastor, to a church.
Yeah.
You're not tithing to God. Karlton, do you think God needs our money?
Absolutely not. He doesn't need anything.
God needs my money?
No, he doesn't need your money.
So God, the God of the universe, the God that we're supposed to worship, the God who created everything, needs my money.
No, just needs your heart. That's all he needs.
Of course not. But how many times do you hear preached, God needs our money, God needs this, you're giving to God? I'm not. What? God doesn't need anything from me, bro. If God needs things from me, then I am his God. God needs nothing from me. Now, what I need is I need God, and I choose to want to be used by God. And God has chosen to limit himself on the earth, where God does nothing on the earth outside of partnership with his sons and daughters. So to the extent that God needs us is theologically true, because God chose to put us in charge of the earth. A lot of Christians who don't know the Bible will say, oh, God's in charge. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm not worried about the future because God's in charge. God's going to take care of everything. And I'm like, well, God's in charge where? They're like, what do you mean? They're like, God's in charge of everything. I'm like, you think God's in charge of earth? You think God's in charge of the world, earth? And we got wars on every planet, everywhere going to wars. Where there's children in sex slavery. We got like Christians being murdered in Nigeria and Mozambique. A 3-year-old got raped by some psycho today, but homelessness out of control. But all of this, and you think God's in charge and this is the best that God can do. You're a fool.
That's crazy.
I said, God's in charge of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
He put us in charge of earth. This is in Genesis, right? God makes Adam and Eve, and then pulls Eve out of Adam. He says, he made us in his image and likeness, put us in charge told us to rule and reign and have dominion. We're in charge of the earth. So the only extent that God needs us is God chose to partner with us. He wants to co-create with us and co-reign with us.
Yes.
But aside from that, God needs nothing from us. He's God. So even how we've been taught to talk about tithes and offerings, or you're giving money to God, you're giving to the house of God. Who is the house of God? You are the house of God. Where does God live? He's inside of you.
That's right.
So like I am a house of God, you're a house of God. A building can't be a house of God. A building is where we meet, but that's not the house of God.
You're absolutely right. The house of God travels with us.
That's
why when churches in the Bible kept getting torn down, they kept rebuilding.
That's why when the church grew the most, there wasn't even a place to go to.
That's correct.
They met in homes.
The
American, the revival, all this talk about revival, the best thing that would ever happen for true faith to spread across America would be more persecution. The church always grows in persecution.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't go to these big buildings. That would be the best thing.
It forces Christianity to conduct itself.
Forced to be real.
In the real world.
In real life.
Mm-hmm. No more script, no more showing up on Sundays at your local church. You got to pick up your Bible and go practice faith.
You cannot go to the Superstar Christian show.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go to the Man of God show. Big church, modern day church culture has conditioned us to be spectators and applaud for the good looking people, the ones that can sing good and preach good. We sit and we applaud for them.
Mm.
It's a spectate. We're never supposed to be spectators. Their job is to equip us to go do the work of the saints.
That's right.
But religion says, no, we'll do all the spiritual work. You just pay for it. And you go to your meaningless job. That's not biblical.
You're hitting on it.
A true fivefold ministry leader, apostles, prophets, pastors, evangelists, and teachers, their job is not, a pastor's job is not to pastor. A fivefold pastor's job is to make pastors. Disciple other people into becoming pastors. A fivefold prophet is not to prophesy only. It's to go raise up other prophets. Their job is to equip the saints to do the work of God, not to do the work of God.
That's right.
So you see, like this is why we're here 2,000 years later. Why? This whole thing could have been done.
Asking the same question.
Jesus said, "Don't worry, I'll be right back." I don't think he's a liar.
No.
I don't think he realized it would take us this long for the whole world to hear about the kingdom. But that's why he's not coming back soon. He says he's only going to come back when all have heard of the kingdom.
Yeah.
You got Christians been saved for 30 years, don't even know what the kingdom is.
Yeah.
So he's not coming back anytime soon. Hopefully you weren't packing your bags. But anyhow.
Well, this podcast will live on for forever. We do know that. And this story has been absolutely incredible. Pedro, for a lot of people that are just now running into you for the first time, they're seeing an entrepreneur that has, walked a few different lives. And for my audience, I know they would want to know, where are you going next? You've already crushed it in the challenge space, and now you're growing your faith-based business with your community. Where are you trying to take this community, and where are you trying to take your journey?
Yeah. So I just want to keep being obedient to what I feel like God's asking me to do. 2 years ago, I did hear the Lord again. I have a house. I'm Portuguese. I have a house in Portugal. I'm a dual citizen. And it was 2 years ago this past summer. I was in my kitchen and I just kind of, heard him. Like I heard this impression, I heard this thing. And I felt he said, "Son, I need you back in the financial industry again."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard. And because I kind of, once the whole 100X Kingdom entrepreneurship thing popped off, and now I'm like a coach and mentor, and then like the challenge thing blew up. I pretty much had taken my financial business. I never shut it down. That'd be stupid. Yeah. I just gave it to my protege, my partner, and he just took it over. And so basically, I just kind of did some rainmaking, brought in some business, and he saw the clients.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen a client I had not sat down with a client to help them plan for retirement since 2016.
Yeah.
So what is that? I mean,
9 years.
it's 9 years. And I wasn't thinking about that industry too much. I was just, and I heard a guy clearly. He said, I need you back in this industry. I need you back in this space.
Wow.
That was 2 years ago. And so we were already at 8 figures multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
When he said that. So now I got to think about, what does this mean? And just to be honest, it kind of felt like a demotion. It's like, kind of like going backwards. It's like, well, that's what I did before all this success.
So why are you calling me back there?
I'm like, why am I going back there? That's
to that chapter.
It did feel like a demotion, but I know God's not into demotions, but it just felt like a demotion. And it really required me to, again, like go to a deeper place in him and trust, because this industry, being like the online guy and the challenge guy, is what really, talking about all the affirmation and validation.
Yeah.
Dude, it checked all the boxes. Right?
Yeah, it does.
I'm friends with Dean Graziosi, Russell Brunson, Joel Osteen, like Jay Abraham, like Roland Frazier, Ryan Dice, like some of my biggest. I don't have any more heroes that I have not met.
Yeah. Yeah. You've met all the giants.
I've met all the giants. They're contemporaries. They're friends. I got to help them.
Yes.
Do things at a different level, which is amazing. To be able to give back to people that have blessed your life. Bro, I wanted to die 15 years ago. I was millions in the hole. Like I had a hole. I crashed and burned 15 years ago. I was, a real estate deal gone sideways. So like to be 15 years ago, to be in a place where I was a couple $1 million in the hole to friends and some family, and earnestly thought I was done and begging God to like not let me wake up so my wife could cash the $6 million of life insurance, pay back our investors, pay off the properties, and just get remarried with $4 million, because I was that depressed and thought I was really done. To have seen what God's done since now, and then to be able to like dream life in terms of where we live and how we live and the kingdom impact I've made and God's made through me. And then just like, I had no more heroes. Like, sure, I think Elon's cool, but like, I don't need to meet Elon. Like, I don't, like literally the people that have changed my life, aside from Miles Monroe, who was passed. Miles Monroe was the greatest mentor to me from the kingdom perspective. He mentored me through YouTube and his books. And aside from that, all of my other great spiritual mentors, fathers and mothers, are friends, contemporaries.
Yeah.
I've helped them grow their ministries.
Yeah.
And all of my kind of people in business that I've looked up to are friends, contemporaries. So like all that came being the challenge guy. All that came from this world. So when God's like, go back to financial, I kind of was like, okay, Lord, like it kind of
hurt you a little bit.
It just was different. I'm like, dude, like I'm leaving like the industry that like gave me all of this.
Yeah.
But I trust him. I know it's good. And honestly, like looking back now that I'm kind of through it, God knew what was going on. The coaching, it's no secret, the coaching industry is down this year.
We're in a trust recession right now.
We're in a trust recession.
Yeah.
There's a lot of knuckleheads in this industry.
People hate course creators right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude, now it's like, you're a course creator?
Now
it's like you're the devil. It's like, wait, hold on, bro. Wait a minute. How did that happen?
You're a scammer now. If you have a course and you're teaching people, you're all of a sudden deemed as a scammer until proven otherwise.
I know, but tell me, how did that?
I think what it is that the younger generation figured out online marketing and then decided to spin up courses on day trading, courses on Amazon drop shipping, courses on anything that you can find that's a skill now. And they're shitty products, man. When you purchase into these products or through these webinars, you're getting some spun up school or some type of community with, janky live calls and a program that looks like it's been made yesterday off of ChatGPT. So,
which
truthfully,
okay. So let's say that's happening, but like,
is it helping people? I don't know.
I don't think it is. But my point is like, it's like course. It's again, I don't sell courses. But I have sold courses as part of, I've sold courses as part of how I help people.
Correct. Same.
What's a course? A course is
Educational material.
Educational material.
Correct.
So like, how are we demonizing people that sell education? This makes no sense to me. It's like, dude, that was so funny. Like I watched the, Hormozy got interviewed on Impulsive.
Okay.
And they're like, "Oh, you're not a course creator, are you?" He's like, "Oh no." I'm like, "Yes, you are. Actually,
Yeah.
actually, you are a course creator, right? You sold info. Maybe not now, but
Yeah.
kind of is now. Like this book launch.
YouTube is a course if you ask
YouTube,
me.
right? So I'm like, it's just so to me, it's like, oh my god, like, it's this thing is toxic. Get away, it's kryptonite. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, what are we talking? There are people, those same guys who were like, you're not a course creator, make their money selling crappy energy drinks and Prize Picks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so your sponsor is Prize Picks or DraftKings, but God forbid you're not a
person that has a high value skill.
You're not a scammy course creator, are you?
Yeah.
As they push their go to DraftKings.
Yeah, go to DraftKings
Fire
instead.
on sports. I'm like, dude, get out of here.
Fire up these picks on prizepicks.com.
Get out of here, bro. Like,
yeah.
So it's kind of, again, I'm not trying to defend.
No, I think you nailed it on the head right there.
You should sell quality stuff.
It's insane for people to judge those that are trying to help people through education, while there's simultaneously tons of other entrepreneurs that are trying to get you to gamble away your life savings to just make quick money on the weekend. When there's people who are literally telling you, hey, this is a long process, this is going to take time, but if you're willing to dedicate, I have a program that's here to help you. Like we have to get over this. I think it's just a phase, like anything else.
It's a phase.
When it comes to the challenge model, I understand it very well, but can you break it down for someone who's never done a challenge, how you make revenue off of a challenge?
An online challenge is essentially it's a virtual event. It can be 3 days, it can be 5 days. I have one coming up that's going to be 31 days in a row.
Wow.
Which I do not recommend. It's an insane thing to do, but I do it every January. We'll talk about that in a little bit if you want. So a challenge, the thing of challenge as a 3 or 5, 3 day, 5 day, 7 day virtual event where you're live for maybe an hour a day, hour and a half a day, 30 minutes a day, 3, 5, 7 days in a row. And the whole goal is to get someone a result. The principle behind why the challenge model work is several. One is people buy, let's play a little game. People buy from people that they
know, like, and trust.
Boom. Okay. How do you build know, like, and trust? Well,
you have to spend time with them.
There's all this science now that says 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the current trust in recession economy, like 7 hours is like the magic number. Well, I didn't do it for this reason, but now it's like, makes sense. A 5-day challenge, guess what? You're going to spend about 7 hours or something.
Yes.
So a challenge works because you're going to build know, like, and trust. 2, you're going to give them I call it a taste and see. This is what I call it, but that's from the Bible.
Yes.
God is so confident in himself. God says this to people. It's like, hey, dude, like, just come hang out with me. Come and see. Just taste and see. Come and taste and see and know that I'm good is the actual Bible verse. So if God is confident to let you come taste and see him before you make a decision, why can't I be that confident about my business? Come taste and see what it's like to work with Pedro Adao for 5 days.
Yeah.
Come taste and see what it's like to have Karlton as your tax advisor for 5 days.
Correct.
And if you love it, and we think you will, then guess what? We'll give you a chance to buy more, go deeper.
Yes.
Want more? You know? So it's built off of in a trust recession. The challenge is the ultimate trust builder, because you're saying, don't trust me, don't take my word for it. Just come
hang out with me.
Come and see.
Yes.
Like, give me 5 days, give me an hour, give me 5 hours.
Yes.
Right? Like, dude, give me 5. You can give this guy 5 hours. Like, he will help you, show you where you are overpaying in taxes. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. He probably does so much more, but that's the pain point that we all know. We all hate the IRS, right? So like, why not start there? But like, there's probably more you do, and have more value to offer than that. But that's a big pain point, right?
Yeah.
So you give me 5 days, and you'll see what it's like. So for anyone who's a business owner who actually is good at what they do.
Yep.
It's hard to fake someone out for 7 hours.
Yes, it is, man. You can sniff out.
You can only like, tell stories about, when I was 5 years old, I fell off a skateboard, like.
Where are the results?
Yeah. So if you are good at what you do, if you can get people a result, then just prove it.
Yeah.
Like, proof trumps everything.
Yeah.
I'm amazing. I'm awesome. I am this. I am that. Like, people don't believe you. So just show them. How
would you tell somebody who's never done a challenge to start the process if all they're familiar with is just doing live webinars?
Yeah.
I have some buddies that I tried to convince them to do the challenge model. I'm like, listen, your webinar is doing this. My challenge is doing this. You're speaking to this many people. I'm speaking to this many people. But for them, it's just like this huge, why should I?
You got to tell me offline.
I'll talk to you.
I'm sure I know these people out there.
Oh, yeah, of course. But they're like, well, why would I do that if I'm already crushing it over here? Well, this doesn't seem like something that would work well for me. You're doing taxes and this offer. I don't know if my offer will work like that.
Okay. So webinars. The GOAT of webinars is Jason Fladlin.
Yes.
Personal friend of mine.
Yep.
We did a challenge together.
One to many.
It crushed.
Love Jason.
Onyx Singal, I taught my challenge model to. He just did a 3-day build your clone challenge. He crushed. And I taught Onyx my model like in 2020. So Jason just did a massive challenge with
Iman.
Yeah. So
did 2 challenges with Iman.
Yeah. Okay. So the really smart marketers who are doing well are not that stupid to say no to a framework.
Yeah.
I'm the challenge guy, but I will do a webinar when it makes sense.
100%.
Because 100%. Sometimes a webinar is the right tool to use.
Yes, it is.
Right? I'm not like the guy that has like a hammer and then every problem looks like a nail. Sometimes a webinar is all you need to accomplish the objective.
Yep.
Other times you need a little bit more muscle. You need a little bit more time, a little more proof.
Yeah.
That's when the challenge comes in. So look, the 2 biggest webinar guys in the industry is Jason and Onyx, and they both run challenges. So, in fact, the 2 biggest, again, it's not webinar versus challenges. It's not webinar versus challenges.
No. I run both.
Now, we could have.
They both serve their purpose.
That was a thing in the beginning. That was kind of like a little rivalry that we had. And then me and Russell had that little kind of rivalry, and then it was kind of like a little fun thing we did for a while. But it's not a rivalry anymore because the fact is the webinar gurus, when push comes to shove and they have huge campaigns, what do? They run a challenge. So I'm not trying to one up, but if we were, then
all the webinar guys that I know that are true marketers have attempted the challenge model, or when they have big months, go directly to a challenge.
That's right.
It's just they want to go double down.
The only negative is it's work.
Yeah, it's just more work. But the payoff is exponential relative to a webinar, if you ask me.
But all those guys are already really rich.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people.
That's true. So they gotta talk themselves into wanting to even do it.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not about the money at that point. It's like, can I even see myself doing this?
Well, it has to be big. Like for Jason, that Iman deal was a big deal.
Had to be a big deal.
He had to fly over there, and he had a rev share. And, But a lot of those guys are like, oh, I'm going to evergreen my challenge. I'm like, well, it's fine. You're already rich.
Yeah.
If you're okay making half or a third
to not do anything, that's
to never show up. Some people would rather make a third and not have to be there.
Yeah,
I'd rather make the full and be there, but I'm also an extrovert. That's a big difference. I don't know.
That's me too. No, I would rather be there.
I don't know you that well yet.
I get the thrill from being there.
Okay.
That is where I get my
We're becoming friends. So I don't know, most of these people don't know. All these marketer dudes are almost all introverts.
All of them. So they're always going to lean towards the thing that keeps them off camera.
I would have not known that.
Yeah.
Because on camera, they're all excited and all dude, they have to will themselves into this persona.
Persona. That's our unfair advantage, though. As
I am like
entrepreneurs.
this.
I'm like this all the
Yeah,
time.
this is
You don't
me.
have to convince me to be like this.
I'm passionate about like kettle corn.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, you sit a bag of kettle corn and tell me I need to sell that kettle corn right here live.
let's go.
I'm pouring into the kettle corn today,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to talk to you about who Kettle was before he met corn. So,
Wait, is that what happened?
I think so. It's biblical. It's biblical.
The best kettle corn is at farmers markets, dude.
Yeah.
Farmers markets.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to get good kettle corn anymore, but like farmers markets, usually it's where you got to go now.
My man, this has been incredible. From kettle corn to challenges to, getting over the hump of entrepreneurship with God on your team. This has been an incredible podcast. Where can people follow you from here to learn more about what you do as an entrepreneur and connect with you?
The best way for people, to hopefully like we can drop this and then people can catch this. I'm doing my huge 31-day wisdom challenge to kick off January. It's our 7th in a row. And it's like, listen, we all know the deal. New year, new me. We have goals, resolutions, and we know that the stats are not great. Most of us kind of get caught up with life and kind of get back to it. So instead of this year just starting off with maybe a wish list of goals and resolutions that you may or may not hit, why not start the year off pursuing the thing that will work everywhere? The wisdom of God.
Wow.
There's a book in the Bible called Proverbs. It is written by King Solomon, the wealthiest and wisest person to have ever lived. He would have been, in modern terms, a multi-trillionaire. He had more money then than Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg, Buffett, all combined. He would have had them all covered. Okay. And literally, like, he wrote a book called Proverbs. This is a book of wisdom. And there's 31 chapters, there's 31 days in January. So go to 31daywisdomchallenge.com, sign up, it's absolutely free. And we're going to read a chapter of wisdom every single day. I'm going to break it down, and then I'm going to interview a different, incredible faith-based entrepreneur, social media influencer, politician, government official, Hollywood actor. You're coming on this year. There are people who you may not even know because maybe they don't have an overtly faith-based brand. Not everyone's super open about their faith, but there are people that you might know and love and have seen their careers from afar and don't know that their actual secret to success is their faith. They've been following Proverbs or biblical principles. So you're going to get like just straight gold, gold success secrets from people who are crushing it at the highest levels, business, ministry, government, Hollywood, media. And you're going to get equipped from timeless wisdom from the wealthiest, wisest guy to ever live, Solomon. And it's all free, 31-day wisdom challenge. And that would be the best place to start. And it's coming up. And you're going to get to be on, you're going to get to hear from probably a side of Karlton that you've maybe never seen before because that's not really what you talk about a ton.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to enjoy being on.
Oh, I love it.
Because you'll be able to kind of lean on stuff that maybe it's maybe not really what you do with your core business, but it's who you are.
Yeah.
And you could share a side of you that maybe you don't get to share. So if you want to see more about Karlton's journey, how he got here, you check it out.
I love that. It's 31 days of worship.
31daywisdomchallenge.com.
31daywisdomchallenge.com. And it kicks off January
1st.
January 1st. And it goes for
Sign up
31 days.
right away as soon as you see this video. It's absolutely free.
Oh, so the challenge is free. Okay.
The challenge is free. Free challenge is crush. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But once you opt in for free, I'm going to offer you a chance to upgrade to our Wisdom Plus experience. We made this amazing journal. It has all the Proverbs. It's got pages for all your notes. So when one of the speakers drops like a gold just nugget, you write it all down, have a place to keep all those notes all in one place. We got activation questions. So you're going to be able to order this as part of the Wisdom Plus experience. You get this.
Nice.
You get 30 minutes backstage Q&A with me and the speakers. We're doing a 2026 Dreaming with God Vision Goal Setting Workshop on June 3rd. And I'm doing a Kingdom Wealth Masterclass on January 6th, 7 to 8. Find out the truth about what the Bible actually says about wealth, money, and resources. How to align yourself for wealth creation and multiplication according to biblical principles. You get all that when you upgrade.
Wow. This is absolutely incredible. I will be a part of the 31-day challenge with you guys and sharing a little bit more about my faith and how it's helped me in entrepreneurship. Pedro Adao, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our show.
It was awesome. Thanks for having
Absolutely
me.
incredible.